So that didn't go well last night. I may have jumped the gun on my predictions last night. Well, yesterday. Because if you watch my last video, you already know that I predicted that the Lakers were going to win game one against the OKC Thunder. And I also predicted that the Cavs were going to go into Detroit, surprise them, and win game one. And I was wrong on both accounts. It's my bad. And when you look at each game, the Cavs Detroit game was kind of back and forth. The Cavs ended up, getting close to taking over the lead. They tied it late a couple of times, but in the end, a lot of it just had to do with that Detroit Pistons defense. I believe they forced 20 turnovers last night for about 29 or 30 points. And that was really the game, and the thing that kept the Cavs in it in the second half was their three-point shooting, but that wasn't able to necessarily sustain throughout the course of the game. Cade was awesome. I think Jalen Duren got back to his old self. Tobias Harris closed them out. He's becoming the quasi closer for the Pistons, because so much attention is given to Cade Cunningham. That Tobias Harris often has the ability to operate on the island by himself when he's in that low post and mid post area. The turnaround jumper over each shoulder, he's just lethal. He's been lethal for the Pistons throughout these playoffs so far. So good on them, man. Good on them. But I still got Cavs winning game two. If they don't win game two, it's going to be tough on going back to the land. So we'll see what happens there. And with the Lakers, so yesterday I did say that I thought the Lakers were going to surprise everyone, and I think throughout the first half they did surprise everybody. Most notably because LeBron James was just so awesome last night. He had 16 or 18 first half points. He finished with 27 on the 12 and 19 shooting. He was really, really, really good. And to be completely honest, he was able to sort of expose the one minor weakness that OKC has is that they don't have anybody who could really guard him one-on-one because he's just so much stronger than everybody else. I think the only person who maybe would have a chance at being successful against him for multiple and consistent series would be a J-Dub because of his size. I would also say Lou Dort, but Lou Dort's about 6'4", and LeBron James is so crafty around the rim. He can use that off arm, sort of use that off arm to, gain position in the post and then catch the ball and then just go up strong for a layup. That's where he's at right now. He's not the guy that's gonna, throw down a dunk on 5 people and things of that nature. That's not who he is. He's not the guy that's gonna, carry a team on his back and score 45, 50 points in the playoff game and get you a win. That's not who he is right now. And the fact of the matter is, I think the Lakers overall played very, very well outside of one individual, and we know who that guy is. Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves, listen, man. They be calling you Hillbilly Kobe. We love your story. The fact that, you didn't even get drafted. You know what I'm saying? You went undrafted, signed with the Lakers, and you've made the most of your opportunity. But boy, oh boy, 8 points on 3 of 16 shooting, 6 assists, 4 turnovers. I mean, no, honestly, really, 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 listen to me. Austin Reaves has historically not played great against the Oklahoma City Thunder, especially this year. However, last night was just an instance of Austin Reaves not being able to match the physicality of, all of the POA defenders that OKC has. As soon as he passed half court, he was getting pressured and he wasn't necessarily able to make plays out of that. When he was able to get, any type of look at the rim, they weren't clean looks. They were maybe semi-clean looks, and he just wasn't really knocking them down. You can attribute a lot of that to the fact that he's maybe rusty, maybe he's not right, coming off of the injury and things of that nature. But the fact is, man, you have no room for error with this OKC Thunder team. They will exploit and take advantage of any weakness you have. And Austin Reaves was the clear weakness last night. Once again, when you look at all the Lakers, LeBron had 27, Rui had 18. He played really well. I think DeAndre Ayton, in the role that you ask him to play, just sort of being a deterrent for Chet, trying to make it hard on Chet, and also doing his own thing offensively as well. He had 10 points and 12 rebounds, man. DeAndre Ayton played very, very well last night for the role that he's asked to play. And I think Marcus Smart, even though he shot 4 of 15 for only 12 points, I think his defense And a lot of his high IQ plays sort of ended up shining through yesterday, even though he did have a very ill-advised. He gave up a 4-point play on AJ Mitchell in the corner that was just super ill-advised, and that was like late in the third when the Lakers were trying to make a run, and that consequently sort of sparked OKC really blowing the game wide open at the end of the third and going into the fourth quarter. So overall, I think the Lakers, outside of Austin Reaves, played pretty solid. You know what I mean? Even when you look at guys like Luke Kennard coming off the bench for 7 points, that'll work. I think Vandal getting hurt early in the game really, really messed them up because they ended up losing another defender and rebounder and things of that nature. But even with that, you know what I'm saying, they were able to hold Shea to 18 points shooting. To 18 points. He was 8 of 15. He wasn't really forcing anything. But a lot of that had to do with the fact that, they were doubling him early and often. They were doing the work early and just really trying to force the ball out of his hands and make other guys make plays. And that's why you look at Chet, who had 24 and 12. He was just awesome, and that's one of the – when I was looking at the series, I was like, I don't know if Chet is really going to have a matchup he can't exploit. Because even though DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes are long, I don't think they're skilled enough as defenders to really guard Chet either in the post or when Chet decides to stretch the floor and shoot. And also put the ball on the floor as well because he's so versatile. It's just hard to defend a guy like that. So all in all, I think Chet played an awesome game. I think A.J. Mitchell was awesome as well. Filling in for J-Dub, I think A.J. Mitchell has the chance, man, to be probably, I wouldn't say third option on this team as far as just purely scoring the basketball. That's how gifted he is as a scorer, in my opinion. He can score from all three levels. He can shoot the ball. He can drive. He has a mid-range game. He's really, really, really solid. I think the one thing he could probably improve at is just shot selection. But I wouldn't be surprised if his teammates are telling him to take every open shot that he has and things of that nature. I wouldn't be surprised if Shea is telling him, hey, man, take all the open shots. If you have an open shot, take it, because that's what we need you for, without J-Dub being in the lineup. And then when you look at the OKC bench, Jarrett McCain, man, I shake my head every day because I have no idea what the Philadelphia 76ers were doing just giving Jarrett McCain up for seemingly nothing to be to the wire best team in basketball who had just won a championship. I don't understand that. And a lot of people may not remember, but Jarrett McCain, before he got hurt in his rookie campaign, was on pace to be the rookie of the year for the Philadelphia 76ers. That's how well he was playing. And then when he came back, he wasn't able to really get his rhythm back. And then he ended up getting traded, which to me, you trade a talented guy like that on his first contract. He's not making a lot of money, so it's easy to move, but his value is certainly worth more than what he's getting paid to a team like OKC, who has been masterful at just navigating free agency, things of that nature, and just trying to build their team out the right way. Adding a guy like that for virtually nothing, it just makes them even that much better. So yeah, I thought all in all, man, I think the OKC Thunder did what they were supposed to do last night. Like I said, I wouldn't have been surprised if they lost. But once again, when your lead guard has 8 points and shoots 3 for 16, think about that. He shot 16 times to score 8 points. 16 times to score 8 points. We call that degenerate gambler math. When you spend more money, than you make. Hey, man, I won $3K. You spent $9K. Hey, I won $10K. You spent $30K to win the 10. Degenerate gambler math. But hey, at the end of the day, man, I feel like both games last night were intriguing for their own reasons. We have game twos tonight. We've got the Spurs and we've got Minnesota, and we've also got New York and we've got Philly. Now for tonight, I've got the Spurs bouncing back against Minnesota. I think they're going to show why they were the second seed in the West. And I've got the Knicks beating the Philadelphia 76ers. I think it's going to be closer tonight, but I do think Jalen Brunson has been able to unlock something in that series, and I think he'll be able to really exploit what he was able to do game one. Not to the degree, I'm not saying he's going to have 30-something points, but I think he's going to be very, very good. Once again, NBA playoffs are awesome. If you like these videos, please follow me on here. Please follow me on YouTube. Please follow me on Twitter at Coalition Hoops. Please follow me on IG at coalition.hoops. And I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.